champion of our.
Well, thank you, and I want to thank Dick Blumenthal has been our leader in the Senate on veterans in every way, and he's relentless, smart, focused, articulate, and lots of other good adjectives.
Thank you.
And I also want to thank Mark Takano, who's done such a good job in the House on the veterans issue and many others. I'd also like to thank Vote Vets, raise your hands if you're here, Minority Veterans of America, thank you, Iraq and Afghanistan's Veterans of America, and veteran advocates for all being here. Because these organizations don't just elevate the voices of veterans, they're fighting alongside us every day to make sure we honor the sacrifice of our servicemen and women. Now the holiday season's upon us, and this year, instead of wondering whether to buy gifts for their families, people will be agonizing on how to pay for health insurance. Horrible, isn't it? They're getting these notifications of how much they're going to pay and say, I can't buy Dad that sweater I wanted to buy him. I can't get the new little jig-a-ma-jig for my nephew, whatever they get these days. It's awful. What a choice at holiday season to have to make. But that's what's happening. The ACA tax credits that veterans have refused to extend will expire. More than 20 million Americans will see their health care costs skyrocket. And don't forget this, even families with private insurance are seeing their premiums go up. Medicare, they used to say, well, they're not dealing with Medicare, but they are. And anybody who's on some kind of managed care is seeing huge increases in their premiums. Well, it's across the board. You know, usually when we think of Medicaid, we think, okay, it helps poor kids, and that's a great thing. But it's across the board. It's all kinds of families, people out of work, elderly, and of course our veterans, and that's why we're here today. And we know what that means. Without health care, our veterans who serve with dignity won't get treatment for cancer, for diabetes, for preventative treatments that keep millions healthy and out of emergency rooms. Health care, we all know, is a matter of life and death, plain and simple. Republicans know these increases are catastrophic. You want to sum up the Republican plan on health care? Chaos. That's all it is. They don't know what they're doing. They don't care. They change their minds every few minutes, and they can't put together a plan. We are united. We are united in lowering people's costs. We are united in seeing that the ACA credits be extended. The contrast is glaring. Donald Trump and Republicans, what are they doing to solve the health care crisis for our veterans and everybody else? Nothing. Nothing to keep 267,000 of our veterans from losing health care. On top of the cuts to CHIP from the big, beautiful bill, Republicans are putting 1.6 million veterans and 4 million family members of veterans risk losing their coverage. They don't care, the Republicans, Donald Trump, they don't care about the rising costs of health care to people. They just care about feathering the nests of their buddies, their big, special buddies. And after waiting until the last minute to even talk about health care, they're now in total disarray, as I said. Trump said he'd finally release his grand plan to fix health care. He'd been saying that for 10 years. And then he unveiled this so-called plan, which was to send a few $1,000 a few people a few $1,000 while doing nothing to lower health care costs. And then he had to even withdraw that because of dissension in his own ranks. Republican leaders in Congress threw a tantrum, and they actually, for one of the few times, bullied the president into backing down. They're so adamant against helping people. So, Republicans are in disarray, and we are united. Until Trump and the Republicans show that they're serious about working with us to solve the health care crisis, and of course we'd welcome them to do it, but they got to do it in a real way that lowers people's costs, not privatizes insurance. You know, for 30 years this has been the battle ever since Hillary Clinton came up with her health plan. It's been a battle between the parties. Who's for helping people deal with their health care costs? Who's for getting better health care at a lower cost for Americans? The Democrats are, and the Republicans have fought us for 30 years and nothing has changed. So, we're in lockstep with the American people to fight for better health care and for our veterans to get better health care. We remain steadfast in our commitment to lower costs and ensure we have affordable health care for everybody, and certainly our veterans.
Thank you.